bringing Israel to the world. This is IBN News.
With news of Israel, I'm Susan Michaels. As U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Israel's Knesset this week, she told parliamentary members the U.S. remains ironclad in our support of Israel's security and its regional stability. In her speech, Pelosi stuck to what the U.S. and Israel have in common, particularly on their desires to rein in Iran's nuclear capabilities and find a path toward peace with the Palestinians. Pelosi said Israel and the U.S. remain concerned about the same threat from Iran and its proxies. We are together in the fight against terrorism posed by Iran, both in the region and also its nuclear development, she said. The nuclear threat of Iran is a global one. Israel's proximity to Iran is the concern of all of us. She also raised the Biden administration's commitment to Palestinian statehood at a time when Prime Minister Naftali Bennett opposes the idea. In a televised speech to followers, Hassan Nasrallah, leader of Lebanon's Iran-backed Hezbollah, said this week the terror group has the ability to transform standard rockets into precision missiles with the cooperation of experts from the Islamic Republic of Iran. There was no immediate Israeli response, but while the Israeli military outguns Hezbollah guerrillas, Israel worries that in a future war they could use precision-guided missiles to knock out part of Israeli national infrastructure like ports or power stations. President Isaac Herzog, speaking at the prestigious Yeshivat Merkaz Harav in Jerusalem, addressed the death of an elderly Palestinian man in Israeli custody, which brought boos and jeers from some members of the crowd. During his speech, Herzog showed his discontent with the death of the 78-year-old who was found dead after being detained by troops in a West Bank village last month. An autopsy found he had suffered a sudden cardiac arrest due to the stress of being manhandled. And police arrested a man in Tel Aviv on suspicion of vandalizing the iconic water fountain in the city's Dizengoff Square, spilling red paint into the water of the fountain. I'm Susan Michaels.
IBN, Israel Broadcast Network.